Sounding Thunder, seen in performance at Toronto's Walter Hall, tells the story of Indigenous Canadian war hero Francis Pegahmagabow. Catherine Wilshire, Toronto Summer Music Festival, at Walter Hall on July 23. Truth and reconciliation may not seem like a natural fit with the musical stage. But on Monday night, a crack team of artists from Parry Sound proved that some challenges are worth overcoming. The Toronto Summer Music Festival had invited clarinetist James Campbell, who has also been artistic director of the Festival of the Sound for 33 years, to present a newly commissioned celebration of the life and accomplishments of an Ojibwe hero from the First World War. Article continued below. The piece, mixing music, song, spoken word and video projections, is called Sounding Thunder, the song of Francis Pegahmagabow. The text was written by Ojibwe poet and Queen's University professor Armand Garnet Ruffo. The instrumental music was composed by Timothy Corliss. The songs were created by the performers, including Jennifer Kreisberg. This 3-act show is about 80 minutes long. It is worth every one of those minutes of attention, thanks to a tight book and score, and the full engagement of everyone on stage. Sounding Thunder had its premiere on July 19 at the Wissahickon Reserve, home of Pegahmagabow's descendants, with subsequent performances at the opening night of this year's Festival of the Sound. The second performance at Walter Hall on Tuesday will be followed by one more at the Ottawa Chamberfest next week. Corliss has relied on pattern music, layers and layers of short, repeated musical motifs, for the bedrock of the score for 7 instruments, including percussion. There were moments when the result sounded a bit derivative, but Corliss is inventive with melody, and a master of shifting colors and textures. The text is quite spare and the music was always there to set the right mood. Pegahmagabow's story is a remarkable one. He enlisted for duty in the First World War in the first big wave of recruitment in 1914. People from First Nations were not allowed to serve, but Pegahmagabow was such a fine shot that he made it to Europe, fighting in the trenches until he was injured in 1917. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers died around him as he survived peril after peril, thanks to a gift from a wise medicine man. The Ojibwe soldier returned home a decorated war hero, but wasn't able to get a Canadian government loan to buy livestock or farm equipment because of his First Nations status. So he turned to politics to try and set things right for Native people across the country. Pegahmagabow's life story is a stark reminder of how the Canadian government long shrugged off treaty obligations, basic needs of First Nations and even the achievements of one of its foremost war heroes. But Sounding Thunder never wallows in pity. Rather, it lays out the story so that we can be inspired to do better in the future. Article continued. Bella Warp, as Corliss told the audience before the performance, guilt is not the right response. Concern, compassion and doing something to further reconciliation is the way to go. Campbell commissioned Sounding Thunder. It was a bold move, one that deserves its own standing ovation. Assembling some of Canada's finest performers to make it shine made it even more compelling. If we can get this kind of art to mend the injustices of several centuries, maybe truth as well as reconciliation actually stand a chance. What to hear at Festival of the Sound? Like most of the music festivals within a day's drive of the GTA, the Festival of the Sound mixes all genres of music in a variety of venues, including the purpose-built Stocky Centre for the Performing Arts in Parry Sound. Some of the classical highlights coming up before the festival closes on August 11 are the Elora Festival Singers and their new music director, Mark Vorinen, present the music of J.S. Bach on July 31. Pianist Stuart Goodyear headlines a program of Russian masterworks with all-star string players on August 2. There is a series of wonderful chamber music concerts the week of August 6. Visit festivalofthesound.ca for full details. Classical music writer John Taraz is a freelance contributor for The Star, based in Toronto. He is supported by the Rubin Institute for Music Criticism, San Francisco Conservatory of Music and Anne and Gordon Getty Foundation. Follow him on Twitter at @JohnToroudsCorrection. The previous version of this article misstated that the team of artists who performed at Walter Hall on Monday were from Owen Sound. In fact, they were from Perry Sound. It also misstated that Sounding Thunder, the song of Francis Pegahmagabow, premiered on July 20th at the Festival of the Sound. In fact, it premiered on July 19th at the Wissahickon Reserve, the home of Pegahmagabow's descendants. It also misstated that the narrator of the piece, who was also the great-grandson of the hero, spoke to the crowd before the performance. In fact, it was the composer of the instrumental music used in the piece, Timothy Quarles.